Hey there, Tiny here. Today I bring you. Oh, wait, no. In this episode of Squishy Doctor. So today we are going to do another Squishy Doctor episode because you guys have been asking me for some, and I know I've had candidates, but this one really needs it. It has a lot of rips and tears. I mean, there's parts literally almost coming off. The paint is really bad, so let's get started. So first things first, I'm gonna address this whole little chunk that's about to come off with some of this fabric glue. And I put a lot of it just because I want to make sure that it secures really well. I did notice that by putting extra, I don't have to fill in gaps as much. So now I'm going to add it to these little gaps also. Usually I do this with that disgusting glow in the dark paint, but it doesn't look as bad as it feels. It feels like it's literally falling apart. So this patient really needs all the help that I guess she can get. It might be a he, I don't know, it's pink. So we're gonna add some more here. And once I do this, I do realize that I need to secure it really well. And I thought about holding it together for a while until I got really tired of holding it. It took me like a good couple minutes to realize that I needed some rubber bands or some scrunchies to hold it down. So that's what I did. This part is actually tricky because when you slide in whatever you're gonna use to hold it, it moves what you've already done. So you gotta go back and adjust it. See here, I'm like, oh, I need more to the side, and then I need another rubber band. But once I put it to dry and it got all situated, I was pretty happy with it. Now I am putting some additional rose glow in the dark paint because even though I put glue in it, the gaps still didn't go away. And I pretty much smothered it. And I found that it's easier for me when I use, my finger to kind of spread it around. I feel like it gets into those creases and it also takes away like the excess. So that's what I have found the easiest for me. Now, if you're like totally professional and you have like tools to do this, that's awesome. But this has been definitely where it works best for me. Today's squishy is Christmas inspired. I mean, I don't want to say Christmas because I know some people don't celebrate Christmas, but holiday inspired. And I'm going to try my best for you to be able to guess what it is. So, ready? Guess the squishy. This is going to be green. And it's going to have a lot of little other colors. All right, so I'm gonna let you think about that for a second, and I'm going to do a quick coat of white. I've told you guys before that I really like painting with white paint, either added or a coat, just because then the color comes in so well. Yellows are the worst, the total worst for me to get rid of, and that pink was just so vibrant that I didn't know if the green was going to be able to cover it up. I'm actually glad I made this decision because as you see here, the green would have never ever covered it. So I'm gonna put that to dry after one coat, and then I'm gonna work on my star. That's right, this is gonna be a Christmas tree, a holiday tree, a tree with a star on it. And so I shape it with a piece of foam. I think that was like a little slice of bread at one point, and I just shape it until I'm happy with it. Then I add some of the yellow fabric paint. And I like this paint because it's like puffy paint, but not. So it's really good when you're trying to put a lot of pigment on it. But the other that's more liquidy is just so much easier to use. So I'm going to cover this completely, and I'm also put that to dry. And once I put that to dry, I go back to do my second coat of green. Once I do my second coat of green, I realize that it is a little dark for my taste, so I'm gonna have to go back, and with a new shade of green, I'm just gonna brush down some color. Now I do want to leave it textured because, I want it to resemble kind of like, like a pine tree. So I do not want to cover it completely. And don't worry, I get to the bottom as soon as my coats dry up. I'm trying to keep up with these videos. I'm like really cutting it close, I've been noticing. So good thing is that the video for Christmas is already almost done. So it'll be ready nice and early on the 25th. I think you're really, really gonna enjoy it. I think it came out super, super cute, and I love, 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 love the Grinch. And I'm gonna put that to dry also. Once it's pretty much dried up, I'm going to take some of this like puffy paint, fabric paint like substances, and I'm going to start drawing on the ornaments. The orange was pretty much dried up, so I had a really hard time. I end up using another mix later on, but I'm going to use yellow, orange, red, and blue. I actually wanted to post this video before, like first, before the gingerbread house. If you haven't seen the gingerbread house, it came out so good. Go ahead and check it out. I'm gonna put the link in the description below so that you can see that. I think that makeover was completely, it was like completely different. I would have never expected it if I was the one watching. And once I dot everything, it needs more, so I go back and I just make other additions. And once I'm happy with all the dots that I have on, I'm going to go ahead and work on the star. And pretty much I'm just gonna use some of that fabric glue to put it together and pray that it comes out well. I think it came out pretty good. I like the way that it looks. I like, it looks like a tree. Oh, and then when I'm watching this, I was like, oh, I maybe want to make it a tree trunk. So I went looking for that piece of the popcorn bucket that I used to make the zombie. And I found it. And before I actually painted it brown, I was like, and cut it and trimmed it, I thought, oh, this could be a cupcake. I love the shape, and I love the way that the star and the ornaments came through. So I hope you guys liked this episode. It was a pretty good patient. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this squishy makeover.